It's time for some real education, the brilliance of Vincent Van Gogh in a world that is 2/3 part madness, 1 part beauty under these increasingly globalist circumstances. It always makes me remember we need to look at that which is beautiful. And the work of Vincent Van Gogh, his paintings, are among the most beautiful things that art has left us. And again, Vincent himself struggled mightily with his own mental illness. And so talking about sickness and art, and I think that how art can comfort us, art can be transformational. Art can take misery and suffering and pain and bring it out the other end as beauty. Let's take a look at another one of his great paintings. This is the only painting I've included in the show this week. 5 episodes, all paintings from 1889 except this one. This is 1885. This is The Potato Eaters. It's one of his most famous paintings, one of his most shockingly famous paintings, even though if you sat somebody down who was mildly aware of Vincent Van Gogh and his oeuvre, his paintings, you might not recognize this as Van Gogh. There are no irises, there are no lilies, there are no wheat fields, there are no starry nights here. Where are all those precious blues and yellows and purples and lavenders, those swirling violet skies and clouds? Very, very different, 1885. This is really the first painting, The Potato Eaters, to make a mark for Van Gogh. It's the first moderate attention anybody paid to him. And I can see why. It's a beautiful painting, but it's not what you would expect. These potato eaters, they are a family known as the de Groots. Painting was done in 1885. It's currently in the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam. This family of de Groots are the subject of the picture. During March and the beginning of April 1885, Van Gogh sketched studies for this painting and corresponded with his brother Theo, who was not impressed with this painting or his current work, nor the sketches that Van Gogh had sent him. Van Gogh said he wanted to depict peasants as they really were. He deliberately chose coarse and ugly models, thinking that they would be natural and unspoiled in his finished work. Writing to his sister Wilhelmina 2 years later in Paris, Van Gogh still considered The Potato Eaters his most successful painting. Quote, "What I think about my own work is that the painting of the peasants eating potatoes that I did in Noyon is after all the best thing I did," unquote. The Potato Eaters contains significant religious elements too. Many critics have pointed out this is a kind of poor man's Last Supper. If you look at various arrangements of the seating, the theme and the ethos of the painting, you have one dirty light that casts a grimy visibility across this table. And you can see that he doesn't romanticize the peasants as the Romantics had done, even the Impressionists to some degree. In his Van Gogh's post-Impressionist world, we see here that there's something beautiful about the truth of these peasants. They are not nobility, they are not educated, but they are inherently human, and that makes them inherently valuable. Sharing their incredibly basic meal of boiled potatoes. This is all that's going to be on that dining room table, but you can see in the squalor of the room, in the lack of space, the almost claustrophobic nature of this family living together, they still are exactly that, a family, and they still are exactly that, the epitome of the human experience. This is indeed one of his most important pictures, one of his most famous, justifiably, but a very different picture to the kinds he would paint from hereafter.